Okay, Monster fans, the Big Schwag here. Wait a minute. We seem to be having a problem with our signal. Someone's trying to take over our broadcast. Wait a second. That looks like Richard Petty.
Jesse, you and the guys at Monster Garage, why don't y'all get something together? Come over in Wyoming and race with me a little bit. Okay?
The undisputed king of racing, Richard Petty. He broke right in to call Jesse out. How's he gonna take it?
I win.
Will he wig out, flame out, or just lose it completely? The temperature's dropping fast. A monster blizzard is about to hit the garage. Grab the kids and gather round the fire and listen to a tale called Monster Garage.
Join us now as Jesse and his gang of maverick mechanics rip, grind, and burn, transforming ordinary street vehicles into monster machines in the Monster Garage. This week's challenge: take a 2003 Mini Cooper and turn it into a screaming, trail-biting monster snowmobile. The rules: when built, the monster machine must appear to be stock. The team can spend no more than $3,000 in cold cash for parts. Jesse and his crew have 7 days and nights. On the first day, they design. For the next 5, they build. And on the 7th day, they race. If successful, they walk away with a $3,400 set of Mac tools. And the clock starts now. Day 1. Jesse mashes the Mini into the garage. The design team comes in from the cold. Before the design team gets started, Jesse has a confession to make.
I have zero experience on snow. Never been skiing, snowboarding. It's cold.
Their first challenge? Getting a track designed for a 500-pound snowmobile to push a 2,500-pound car.
What do you think? I mean, you're the snowmobile guy, so.
Well, are you limited to one track or 2?
I think we're gonna have to have 2.
Yeah.
Just because of the size of it.
Yeah.
How wide's that track?
This one's 15 inches wide.
So we need 35 inches if we use 2 of them?
It'll be tight, but there's just enough room under the Mini for 2 tracks side by side. Next, they'll need to figure out how to get power to them.
How fast do we need to go?
Fast. I think the simplest way to go is use the clutch, driveline, transmission, everything. It'll drive just like a car, but instead of driving front wheels, we'll switch that to the back to drive the tracks on each side.
A drivetrain will connect the dual tracks to the Mini's engine. This monster machine also has to drive like a car. For that, they'll need a way to raise and lower the snowmobile tracks.
I've got a couple ideas for that. We could use a hydraulic system to push this down to the ground, lift the weight of the vehicle up.
Rick Souls is a paint and body training manager for Mini of North America.
It was a little bit of a surprise to me that Mini would allow Monster Garage to take this vehicle and, cut it up and morph it into this snowmobile.
He's also a lifelong car customizer.
If it had wheels and I had one, I wanted to race somebody that had another one.
Under the front end, they consider adding skis to both steer the Mini snowmobile and to keep it from sinking into the snow.
Why don't we make a ski that allows the wheel to just hang below it?
Matt Lube is a product manager for Polaris Snowmobiles. He's also a 2-time world champion hill climber.
Think of a downhill slalom skier going through the gates. We go up the same mountain through the gates.
There is a downhill element to hill climbing, and that's when the fun really begins. The skis could be mounted to the Mini's front suspension.
It'd be kind of cool if these things folded up and actually blended into the running board.
Raphael Zamet is a senior car designer for General Motors.
The Mini is all about customization. It's all about attitude. This is a car that's begging for this.
Your steering would be the mini steering because this whole assembly would steer with the front wheels.
But will the front skis be enough to turn the much heavier Mini?
How much turning do we get off of the skis?
Well, I think we're going to be wise to try to do it with the track. We want some helpers in the rear.
The final design. 2 retractable snowmobile tracks will be mounted to the Mini's underside, powered by a drivetrain connected to the Mini's front-wheel drive engine. Skis that ride just above the front tires will be connected to the front suspension arm.
I like it.
Now all that's left to do is build it. Day 2. The build team enters the garage. Jack Nickerson is an ace welder and builder of custom hot rods and speedboats. Hector Orlandi hails from Puerto Rico via Saginaw, Michigan, where he builds something he calls snow planes. For Brady Camburn, there's no business like snow business. He's the head mechanic for Tyson Snowmobiles. 2 design team members are staying on for the build. Rick Souls from Wallcrill, New York, and Matt Lube from Buffalo, Minnesota. Jesse wastes no time and rips the wrapping off his new present.
Are we gonna really destroy this car?
Yeah.
A 2003 Mini Cooper. Thanks to Mini USA, this is the first brand new car to come straight from the factory into the garage. But this one's not done yet. Somewhere inside its sporty compact frame, there's a monster snowmobile that needs to come out.
All right, guys, work time. So we designed this thing. We kind of came up with this Rube Goldberg contraption.
The design calls for the Mini's peppy 115 horsepower engine to power both the car wheels and the snowmobile tracks. But Jesse thinks that might max out his little Mini.
The more I've thought about it, you know, you brought up a good point that the Polaris motor makes more power than the Mini motor, so we should keep it 2 separate vehicles in one.
Jesse knows how to make a monster. Let the Mini keep its motor and muscle in 2 macho Polaris snowmobile engines, 1 for each track. When this abominable snowmobile hits the trail, it will have a snow-scorching 300 horsepower to pulverize the powder.
First things first, we'll take this thing apart.
The team sinks their teeth into the brand new Mini Cooper.
Are there upholstery anyone?
Jesse's design change sends our snowmobile expert Matt scrambling. He'll need to scrounge up 2 complete snowmobile engines with all the fixings by tomorrow.
Out of here.
The twisted pleasure of tearing into a brand new Mini inspires Hector to song, an operatic piece of his own he calls Ode to Destruction. The easy part is done. The interior is now exterior. It gets harder when they start cutting into the Mini's underbelly, especially for Rick, the rep from Mini headquarters, who hates to see anything go.
Now, this cross member, this is holding the wheels on this vehicle. Here, this is a whole new issue here. That's gonna be a problem.
I think we should just ditch it.
Rick and his precious Mini are in for a rough time. Nothing sacred to Mr. Slash and Burn.
You gotta get your mindset in the Monster Garage mode. All that engineering, and I'm just gonna go around with the torch.
The plan is to cut out a section of the floor to make room for the tracks. The Mini has a unibody construction, meaning the structural supports are built into the body parts. If Jesse cuts out too much, the entire car could collapse. Rick starts to worry if his Mini can handle all this hacking.
I think he likes to cut, you know? It's just not necessary. That cross member holds the ass end of that car together. I don't have my own television show, so my way must be a little too conservative, you know?
For his part, Jesse isn't too concerned.
You'll be all right. Yeah.
Matt and Brady, the team's snowmobile experts, know two things. One, how to build snowmobiles. And two, the team is counting on them because no one else has a clue. Polaris has given them everything they need to make it happen. They'll start with the tracks.
Freebie. Zero. Nada.
But these tracks are going to have to be unlike anything ever seen on a snowmobile. A stock snowmobile track is 18 inches high. To fit under the Mini, they've got to cut that almost in half. Matt's plan is to toss out the suspension arms and attach the drive shaft directly to the rails. But there's no way the stock aluminum rails can support 5 times more weight than they were designed for. They're going to have to fabricate new rails out of 3/8 inch steel plate. Jack cuts out the steel rails. Although Jesse probably won't use them, the Mini Snowmobile needs brakes. The team needs to come up with some kind of gizmo that will brake each track separately, allowing the Mini to steer like a tank. Their monster snow brakes need someone with imagination, someone who can improvise, someone who can sing. Hector Orlandi has been into monsters long before they got their own hit TV series. He builds snow planes, a simple, fast, and potentially fatal slice of frigid fun. Take a car, put a plane or jet engine on it, and hit the ice. It gives him and his neighbors something to do during the long winters in his hometown of Saginaw, Michigan.
Good stuff.
If he can survive snowplanes, jerry-rigging some brakes for a Mini Snowmobile should be no problem. Matt gets him going with a box of brake parts from Polaris.
Who's your buddy now?
You're my buddy.
Yeah, don't be getting too nice there, Pally.
I got parts.
Freebies!
Freebie!
I think you've been watching the show too much.
The solution he comes up with is a masterpiece of Monster Garage ingenuity.
You put it like that, and you can brake individually. A lever here. Use your imagination.
Hector scavenges through the wreckage to find the extra parts he needs. He makes a box to hold what will forever be known as the Hector Stick. Matt puts the steel rails to the grinder. There's no doubt in his or anyone else's mind he's going to nail the tracks. Matt wishes Jesse would nail down his plan for raising and lowering the tracks.
I think firm in his mind, I think it's a little foggy in everybody else's mind.
Airbag or hydraulic. Airbag probably. I think we're gonna need to use an actuator.
Airbag.
Hydraulics.
An actuator. I'll either stick with or modify my plan.
So we're talking about having a link here, and a link here, right? This is your 4-link deal. Where this, how this ties in with airbags above here or whatever. You got that figured out?
Sure.
My disposition, I'd just soon have a little more structure, not necessarily the whipping post, but a little more clearly assigned tasks.
At the end of day 2, the team has the tracks tracking, the Mini minimized and ready to fulfill its destiny as the world's first and only Mini Cooper snowmobile.
We got Mount Everest in front of us. We got a hill to climb.
Monster Garage factoid. The classic Mini became known as the Mini Cooper in 1961 after legendary British race car driver John Cooper gave it a more powerful engine, wider tires, and a color contrasting roof. Day 3. The build team has barely cracked the ice on turning a brand new Mini into a monster snowmobile, but nobody's worried. Except for Hector. The team's golden-throated monster mystic is worried about his Hector stick.
Last night I have a dream.
The idea that seemed so ingenious the day before has one minor flaw. It can steer the car, but it can't stop.
The brake system that we have here so far has been able to brake individually, but not brake the whole car. So it will brake one or the other. But anytime you need to brake, you need to brake both simultaneously.
While Hector retreats to the drawing board, the snowmobile team pushes hard to finish the first of the 2 tracks. Eager to lend a hand, Jack has joined forces with the snowmobilers.
This drill press, this is the one Noah used to build the Ark.
Jack Nickerson has been building fast cars and speedboats since he was a kid.
I started building cars when I was 5. I've actually done it for an occupation now for about 2 years.
But like Jesse, he knows bupkis about snowmobiles.
I hate snow. It's funny that I'm on this show because there's nobody that hates snow more than me.
He also has a large tattoo on his leg that he claims is his wife. Sure, Jack, whatever you say. To finish the first track, they make an extension plate to add to the front of the rail so they can adjust the track tension. With the extension plate welded in place, they start adding the axles and wheels.
Hey guys, here's our bearings.
By mid-morning, a final piece to the puzzle arrives. Bearings for the front axles.
Still on the big side, but that'll work.
By midday, the first of the 2 tracks is finally built. Matt and Brady give it its first tryout in the snow.
It works. Oh, yeah.
Jesse's goal for the day is to restore a little structural integrity to the gutted Mini. The man who took so much from the Mini decides to give something back. To keep the car from collapsing in on itself, he fashions a roll cage out of steel pipe. The cage will also have to be strong enough to support the snowmobile tracks and engines. Rick is beginning to see some method to Jesse's madness.
I'm realizing Jesse's a lot more of a hands-on guy and truly a fabricator rather than just a made-for-TV kind of guy, you know?
Hector's method is his madness, and he's conjured up a new and improved version of the Hector stick.
I visualize it in my head. It's kind of, I can see things moving in my mind.
A second lever attached to a centrifugal rotary will stop the tracks by depressing both brake handles at once. He's also adding a throttle control for the 2 snowmobile engines.
That's pretty awesome. I think Hector's too smart for Monster Garage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One piece.
By late afternoon, Matt and Brady have assembled the second track. The 2 tracks are temporarily linked with tie rods.
You should make rollerblades out of those.
They prop it under the Mini to make sure it's going to fit. Now that Jesse can see what he has to work with, his plan for how to raise and lower the track finally gels.
We could link those together,
And we need
and if we got Heims, we can still get our adjustment and have our ram going straight into here.
The tracks will be attached by a 4-link to the roll cage. A single hydraulic ram will raise and lower them. The snowmobile team starts fabricating a support frame for the engines.
Here's our engine cradle.
Jesse's got a clever idea for raising the back of the car so they can install the tracks, welded to the lift.
If we try to tape it up on the lift, it's gonna fall over.
By the end of day 3, they get their first hint of what this monster car is going to look like.
It's got that good 72 Nova look.
Day 4 starts off with an avalanche of freebies, courtesy of our friends at Polaris Snowmobiles.
It says don't cut. I'm defiant. See, they were wrong. Wiring harness. I'm guessing these are motor mounts? Yes, Josh.
Freebie. Zip.
Zero.
Nada.
But the parts they need most are still missing in action, the engines. After a second rough night's sleep, Hector has realized that there's yet another problem with the Hector stick. With 2 handles plus a throttle, it will take 3 hands to operate. At first, he considers using the Mini's gas pedal to control the snowmobile engines, but right away he hits a snag. There's no way to attach throttle cables to an electronic pedal.
The magic of electronics.
With time getting tight, Brady, the Swami of snowmobile, is chomping at the bit.
So I need this as soon ASAP.
As soon as you stop talking, I'll get it done.
Brady Camburn makes the fastest, coolest custom snowmobiles on Earth.
I am kind of the Jesse James of the snowmobiling industry.
His pride and joy is a 420 horsepower nitrous-charged snow rocket. It flies uphill at a frosty 90 miles per hour. It also doubles as a jet ski.
I think everybody looks up to the craftsmanship that Jesse has. I want to be looked up to similar to that, just this radical guy that built some really cool stuff.
Rick welds on mounts for attaching the 4-link connector rods. The rods are attached to Jesse's roll cage.
That one's gonna go in that one, I think.
Once it's all in place, they hook up the tracks.
Oh yeah, that's plenty high.
Is it up clearing the tires?
Looks to me like it's at rim height. Okay, let her swing down nice and easy.
The trick now will be mounting the two engines so there's still clearance for both the track and the hydraulic ram. More stuff arrives. So far, it's been one non-stop freebie feeding frenzy. Mini USA got it going, and Polaris is going to give until it hurts. Into the garage come two thumping hearts to power the twin snowmobile tracks. Top-of-the-line Polaris Liberty 800s. We're talking two-stroke, liquid-cooled, 8,000 RPMs and 140 horsepower apiece. A moment later, their giant freebie cake gets some icing. Matching sets of power-boosting exhaust pipes, courtesy of Brady's friends at Starting Line Products.
0. Nada.
Now the real fun begins. Each engine is 25 inches wide and requires a clutch assembly, jack shaft, brakes, gears, and a drive chain. The problem is how to mount all this to a 15-inch wide track and still leave room for the 4 links and hydraulic ram. They also need to make sure that all the belts, shafts, gears, and chains line up and nothing interferes with anything else. And Jesse found a new toy, a Polaris Predator.
Stand-up wheelies on the Polaris. I want one.
Back in the garage, Matt and Brady have come up with a way to squeeze the two engines into the tiny track. Set one further back and higher than the other so they can overlap.
A lot of work riding on those engines being properly in place. Because if they're out of alignment, then it's just a big waste of time.
Jesse adds a crossbar to hold the hydraulic ram. With so much attention being paid to the back of the car, nobody's given much thought to the second major component of the mini snowmobile, the front skis.
What about the ski in the front? That's another story.
It's just something that I feel that we ought to get some sort of a handle on, really. I really do.
Jesse decides it's time to rectify that situation.
We're going to the land of the misfit monster garage parts.
I've never been there.
We got some hydraulic stuff left over. Put them right on the front bumper. The skis. Are you feeling me? On this side of town?
Jesse's idea is to use hydraulic rams for raising and lowering the skis. His initial thought is to connect them to the bumper, but the always inspired Hector takes this idea and runs with it.
Find a better idea. This arm is part of a suspension. We put the bottle into the suspension here, and we can make it turn.
As the end of the day approaches, the intricate engine assembly takes shape.
Godzilla. Look at that. It's not quite wild as Gargantuan. Remember Gargantuan? It was just like the monkey-looking long-haired dude that went... That's all it did. And like knocked buildings over.
Under the car, Rick has started mounting the hydraulics for the front skis.
We're gonna mount the skis on these hydraulics so he can control that with that same hydraulic pump that we're gonna drive the track and motor assembly down with. And what Hector and I have realized is that this is a great spot to mount these in right here.
He's stealing my idea.
And it's gonna do a couple of real neat things for us. One is it's gonna let us tie the back of that ski into the conventional rack and pinion steering off the Mini. So we'll have the power steering that the Mini has to steer the skis.
He includes himself in my idea, okay?
We'll also be able to use the hydraulics to drive these skis down.
It's my idea, it's not Chester. It's my idea. But it's okay.
Well, we'll let Siskel and Ebert over there work on the front skis. We'll finish this stuff up tonight. Then I'll help Penn and Teller. They do. They look like a comedy troupe. Look at them.
The goal was to get the engines mounted and in the car by the end of the day.
Check center before we... I still think we're half a day behind.
Tomorrow we have to be trying to make those things run and make the hydraulic system work, or we're dead in the water.
There's only 2 days left, and their monster's still in pieces on the garage floor. Monster Garage factoid. In the United States, there are 131,000 miles of groomed snowmobile trails and only 38,000 miles of interstate highways. Day 5. 3 build days down and 2 to go. The snowmen arrive early.
Fresh snow.
Having fun yet?
But there's no time for slow dancing in the snow. This is Monster Garage, and there's a Mini waiting for its twin-engine power plant. The motors are mounted to the tracks, but they're still lying on the garage floor, and nobody started on the skis for the front end.
It's gonna be another long day.
No smoke and mirrors. This is the real deal. On TV, you see 47 minutes or whatever it is, and you know, we've already been here 39.5 hours, and we still have 2 days to go.
Warning, 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 be advised. The one portraying the show is real. These guys work hard, really hard.
It's like more work than you'll ever do in your life, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Mr. Freeze blows into the garage and tries out his chariot.
No handlebars, just a rope. Who built it?
Now all they have to do is squeeze 500 pounds of motorized snowmobile track into a car that's just too damn small.
Looking good. Forward. Good?
Yeah.
More on this side.
Big surprise, it doesn't fit. This monster is having a tough delivery. They'll have to cut. The poor Minis had enough of the torch and decides to throw a flaming hissy fit. The fire's out, the tracks and engines are in, but before anybody starts celebrating, Jack throws some cold water on their monster.
We have 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. There's 2 batteries, 2 hydraulic pumps, 2 snowmobile motors, 2 snowmobile motor track assemblies, a hydraulic ram, hoses, wires, an extra tachometer, an extra speedometer.
Jesse needs to clear his head. A little joyride might do the trick.
I would be safe to say this is the first snowmobile that's ever been ridden in Long Beach. Oh, yeah. It doesn't steer.
With the rest of the team focused on the engines, Rick has taken on the neglected job of building the front skis.
We need a lot of surface area. We got a lot of weight to hold up there.
Rick starts banging on some 1/8-inch steel plate. Whatever skis come out of this will not be pretty. For maximum power, the two-stroke snowmobile engines need exhaust pipes with large expansion chambers. The problem is that these 4 massive pipes need to squeeze into what little room is left between the engines and the Mini's roof. To do that, Brady will have to slice and weld, cutting the pipes to half their original size. They not only have to fit, they have to work.
The thing about two-stroke engines, the way that they operate and the way the drive system is, if it's not near perfect, it won't work. So the whole week would be a waste of time.
There's 27 hours left before their monster hits the snow or the shredder.
You guys know if it gets midnight and it's not done, we're not going peacefully like them. We're gonna set the car on fire right here in the shop.
Incredibly, it's at this point they come up with their first to-do list.
What about the mounting into the car? Batteries got to go.
I could see this taking us all night.
I do.
I'm sure there's a few people that are going to stick it out.
The team has so much left to do, they've decided to work through the night. Jesse decides to let them. Rick is still locked in battle with the steel for the front skis. Brady has barely gotten started cutting and pasting the exhaust pipes. Hector has still got to get the throttle and brakes connected and working. Matt will install the cooling system for the radiator. As the only member of the team who knows hydraulics, Jack takes on the job of getting Jesse's ram to work. One hydraulic pump will operate the ram, lifting and lowering the tracks. A second pump will do the same for the front skis.
Either of those guys.
It's now past midnight, officially day 6, the team's last day to get the job done. This is what the ticking clock called Monster Garage can do to a competent man of sound mind and body.
I'm just using this box section to help me calculate a little bit about what I don't know that I want to do. This is just helping me, like, see if I can come up with some kind of a freaking idea or direction here.
It's after 1 a.m. before the hydraulic ram is ready for its first test.
She's bleeding. There's a lot of fluid coming out. I used a piece of junk hose that we had laying around here, and it has a leak in it, so now I'm screwed.
Jack scrounges up enough spare parts to fix the leak. By 2:30 in the morning, he's ready for a second test of the hydraulic ram.
She's not. Is it trying to go up? No.
No more leak, but it's still not working. Jack's hit the wall on the hydraulics.
What's going on? I don't know.
Brady steps in to lend a hand.
We've had several leaks, had a line blow. We've got a problem with our valving. Not really sure what it is. Need to be working on some structure.
When a team gets this quiet, you know you're in trouble.
The car is winning.
One look at Rick says it all. We've lost him. Where there once was purpose to his banging, now there's just banging. Finally, after half an hour of head scratching, Jack comes up with an inspired idea. See how it was done on one of the other monster cars.
Volkswagen has some hydraulics in it. Maybe they hooked it up different. Yeah, okay. We'll just probably have to put a hose where they have that union.
Okay.
I'll do it. I got it.
Turns out, there's another way to route the lines. The right way. At 3:30 a.m., they test the ram again.
It's all the way out. Look at that.
Finally, it works.
Maybe 3 in the morning, but...
Thank you.
But their problems aren't over. They can't connect the ram because one of the engines is in the way.
This is the most important thing on this whole car to me. This is it. This makes us or breaks us.
It means finding somewhere else in the cramped Mini to mount the ram.
That's fine.
I think this is viable. I think the front's viable.
Matt knows it's no time for radical changes. He tries to salvage what they have. His idea? Fabricate a new mounting bracket that will hold the ram clear of the engine. And for good measure, cut off the last remaining thread of the Mini's original back end. Jack fabricates a new mounting bracket.
Monster Garage coolant tank for your hot metal. A little warm.
The shower and a toothbrush would be better than sex right now.
It's 5 a.m. and the ram is attached to the new mount. The dog-tired team gives it one last test. It's not pretty, but at least it works. The exhausted team calls it a night. While they still can, the sun will soon be rising, and they'll be back at it, trying to beat life into their monster before the clock beats them. Rest easy, men.
The garage is heating up. The pressure's starting to build. Will the team ice their monster?
Monster is coming alive.
Or will it be a mini meltdown?
I win, I win, I win.
Stay tuned.
It's still day 6. The team drags themselves in, dazed and abused.
Hours sleep, much better.
This is the longest, hardest, just balls out the whole time that I've ever done.
Turns out Brady works straight through and won't stop until his Frankenpipes are finished.
Time's starting to take a toll. I'm getting all tired. But we got a snowmobile to build.
What's left on their to-do list? Too much.
We need to figure out the skis,
We gotta hook up the chains, finish the pipes.
the throttle cable.
When that's all done, we'll make smoke.
Rick's made it back from the slopes of insanity with a pair of crude and misshapen steel skis for the Mini Monster.
These skis were kicking my butt, I'll tell you. They, from the get-go. Everything I seemed to touch went to hell yesterday, and now I'm whining and crying, right?
Jesse arrives looking a little more refreshed than the rest of the team. The hydraulic ram works and clears the engine assembly. But the headaches aren't over yet. In the down position, the snowmobile assembly still shakes like crazy.
As the ram goes up and down, the whole track assembly is kind of wandering around, can't find its way home.
I mean, it flails around. I mean, it looks
We need
crazy.
to lock it in on these.
Jesse puts his good night's sleep to work and quickly comes up with a solution. He adds support braces and a cradle arm to hold the track steady in the down position.
I'm just using the old hillbilly method of if it doesn't work, just keep adding more metal till it does.
Hector has been forced to fabricate a second gas pedal to power the snowmobile engine.
Kind of matches the original this time.
But he's still waiting for one last part before he can test it out, a fuel pump. By mid-morning, Brady's heroic effort has paid off. The exhaust pipes are finished.
Can I hide this? Frankenstein.
Bolt, I'm like, oh, there ain't no weld on that at all.
Like the United Way.
Now comes the real test. Will they fit inside the crowded car?
You recognize either of these? This one's got a funny downturned tail.
So that one goes on first.
Is it this one, this one?
Incredibly, he gets all 4 puzzle pieces to fit. Up front, the Mini's under the torch. Jack's begging it to make room for the skis. The Mini's response?
The harness is on fire. Please get water quick.
The Mini's main wiring harness is on fire. Before it's too late, someone hands him a Monster Garage fire extinguisher.
Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Is it out, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like the whole fire was the asphalt
Harness.
tape that's wrapped around the harness.
Doesn't look like it burned any of the harness.
None of the wires look it.
You are lucky. I think he's lucky.
After 24 hours of pounding and welding, Rick's skis are finally ready to be mounted to the car. Not much curb appeal, but at least they're done.
Kind of crude looking. They're like way crude. Kind of crude looking would be putting it politely. But you know something, today, they're doing what they need to be doing. So it's like, it's Monster Garage, you know?
The team has only 6 hours left before their midnight deadline.
Pipes are done, this is done. Fuel cell's in, fittings, brakes to the car is plugged. That's all the must-do.
For being such a mini car, it's a pretty big project, so.
Jesse always has time for a good luck kiss from Jesse Jr.
No, I want a real kid.
Jesse Jr. always wipes it off. Yeah. A new fuel pump arrives for the motor and engines. They slap it in and prepare for the moment of truth.
Monster is coming alive.
Right on, huh? Sounds good. Right on. Let's go.
Jesse celebrates by buying the team a round of Choco Tacos.
Thanks, dude.
There's something for the Mini as well. Wheels from Quantum Tech Alloys and tires from Toyo.
You are his hero.
Really? How come?
I have seen you, maybe.
Don't take it personally, because he just told me that like 12 minutes ago that I was his hero.
You are not my hero yet.
I got a free.
Jesse cuts the Mini off the lift. It's time to see if their monster will bite snow or just bite. Over at West Coast Choppers, Jesse's arranged a little surprise. A mini snowstorm. A 60-foot stretch of fresh powder will either make or break their monster. The snow has caused a mysterious outbreak of kids in a neighborhood without any. Even more amazing, the tattoo on Jack's leg really is his wife. The Mini's on the snow, but it's not moving. One of the track engines won't turn over.
We're not sure if it's not getting fuel or not getting spark.
It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Down here.
And only one of those things are working. Yeah.
Please come get them. Jesse's about to lose his cool, and the team's about to lose their tools.
One of the motors are trying to get it running. It doesn't want to run that good.
Minutes before midnight, they give it one last try. Nothing but monster. Against all odds, the Mini Snowmobile team has pulled it off.
My brain itches now. I felt loudness. Cool. Right on. All right, cool.
The Mini Snowmobile is turned over to the fastest paint gun in the West, Tom Pruitt of Damon's House of Motorcycles. Pruitt lays out his plan.
We're gonna mix some blue blood red. We're gonna blend in some of the Molly orange. What we're trying to achieve is a look of an ice cube.
He's talking ice cube blue, but he's seeing red for the all-important Monster Garage flames.
The technique we're about to do is called marbleizing. You have no time to mess around with this. You gotta lay it down, and you have a window of about a minute to go ahead and get your marbleizing done. If you wait too long, then you have to start your whole process over again.
Finally, a quick pass with his airbrush leaves it looking like an igloo. It's a stone-cold monster. Monster Garage factoid. The new Mini has 2,415 different parts. Eskimos have 441 different words for snow.
Hello again, Monster fans. Big Schwag here, and we are a long way from Long Beach, waiting for the start of another Monster Garage challenge. Next to me, as always, my good friend, Frankie Whiteside. What up, sled dog?
We are, Schwagman. Up in the mountains, that is, way out west in a place called Alpine, Wyoming.
Frankie, I can't stop shaking. My breath is smoking, and my snot's turned into an icicle. What the hell's going on?
You're cold, Schwag.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, folks, but we didn't come here to blow snow up your tailpipes. We came here to race. Today's challenge was laid down by a good buddy of Monster Garage.
And a good old boy, Schwag, the king, Richard Petty.
Jesse, you and the guys at Monster Garage, why don't y'all get something together and come over in Wyoming and race with me a little bit, okay?
Petty is ready to get it on. And just outside the Bull Moose Saloon, it looks like the whole town has turned out for the showdown in the snow.
You gotta be cool to duel, with the king, that is. And here comes the Iceman himself, Jesse James, driving up in his Mini Cooper snowmobile, a nasty little monster called Snowballs.
Figured out all them gauges?
Yeah. All I need is the throttle.
Yeah. Don't worry about the brakes, right?
That's right, Jesse. Nothing but throttle.
Jesse's gonna need a big bottle of throttle to keep up with King Richard.
Whoa! The Mini's morphing. It's a double-barreled snow shooter. So this is what a monster snowmobile looks like.
Both racers are at the starting line. Jesse's all fired up. Jesse's revving.
The Reverend of Rev Richard Petty fires back. They're off. Okay, Frosty, how about the rules?
No problem, Schwagman. There are no rules. Up and down the mountain, the fastest man wins. Hey, Schwag, check out the scenery. Isn't it pretty?
Why don't you take a picture, Frank? Check out Richard's ride! A brand spanking new Polaris 700 Pro X2. Did you know it's got 130 horsepower and can go over 100 miles per hour? Petty's making a move to the inside and he takes the lead.
Jesse guns it. Richard might be a living legend, but Jesse's ready to dethrone the king.
Hey, wait a second. Richard's overshot the turn.
He's gone off trail.
Jesse's making a three-point turn.
And Richard's in the powder.
Jesse's back on track.
And so is Richard.
Oh, yeah! The king is running and gunning. He's back out front. But for how long?
Jesse pushes his Mini to the max and reels Richard back in. Snowball's got game, Schwag.
But it looks like Richard's done playing, Frankie. There's the finish line. He smells victory, and Richard Petty wins the showdown in the snow. That's the first ever loss for Jesse in a Monster Garage challenge. But who cares?
Where you been, man?
One thing's for sure, that's a Mini Cooper snowmobile.
That's for sure. And that's a snowmobile.
And you're still the king.
Thank you, brother. All right, enjoyed it, man.
All right, man.
But Jesse's got no time for slow goers, snow blowers, or bad hair days.
No.
He's got sparks to fly, metal to burn, because the next Monster Garage challenge is just around the bend.
Brady?
Right on.
Rick?
Thanks.
Dad? Got some toolboxes for you.
Yeah.
Cool. Monster Garage CDs.
Monster.
Monster Garage.
It's original.